Offensive line, check. Defense, check, like the fundamental stuff you need. Great running back, check. Number one receiver, check. Receiving coach, he's got everything, and it may not be enough. So if you pay him like a franchise quarterback, you're stuck. If you pay him like a middle-class quarterback and not a penny more, then there'll likely be higher bidders because they're desperate teams. If you have the discipline to pay him like a middle-class quarterback, you can win a Super Bowl with him, but not a penny more than a middle-class quarterback.
I think you're wrong, and I think you should be ashamed of yourself. And here is why. Dak Prescott deserves better than either of you are giving him credit for. And I know you threw out the laudables, so you're not ignoring what he has done. I'm saying take into account what you have to work with. Think about the history of quarterbacks. Now, Tony Romo, before he arrived, think about the bevy of quarterbacks that came circulating through Dallas because you were starving to find somebody that could do something. He comes in, and then Tony Romo does what he does. And then after that, Dak Prescott comes in when he's injured. He completes 67% of his passes. He leads the Dallas Cowboys to the playoffs. They're balling with a 13-3 record. It takes Aaron Rodgers to knock him out of the playoffs, which both of you have brought up periodically throughout the last couple of years. Last year was a down year. Ezekiel Elliott missed 6 games. This year, they didn't have it because they knew they made a mistake getting rid of Dez Bryant, okay? So you don't have a receiver right now. You don't have anything to work with, even though Ezekiel Elliott is back. The second you get Amari Cooper, you go down the first game, and then after that, you've won 5 straight with Dak Prescott completing better than 70% of his passes, finding ways to win games. He looks better because he's got a receiver, a number one, to go through and a stud like Amari Cooper. And we're sitting here thinking about the college quarterbacks that are coming out because Tua ain't coming out. Kyler Murray wants to play baseball. This guy from Oregon, you don't know he's the answer. What you going to do? Go get Mark Sanchez and ask him to come see how that works out. Teddy Bridgewater, let's see how that works out. Dak Prescott is in his, I cannot believe I'm the one sitting here coming to the defense of him, but the man is in only his 3rd year. He's bright, he's smart, he's a leader. He cares. You take all of those things into consideration. He handles just the allure of Dallas Cowboys, America's team, professionally. The upside is tremendous, and we're already talking about limiting him, Matt.
Well, that's why.
To a mid-level quarterback range?
I'll throw this.
Mid-level?
I'll throw this to you.
Real quick, what would you pay him then?
Well, it would be
whatever it takes?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. But I'm saying, excuse me, if Matt Stafford, who's never won a playoff game, if Matt Stafford is getting paid $27 million.
But that's a mistake.
All right, I'm just saying, what quarterback do you want? He's not a mid-level guy. He's better than that.
The point is not to repeat the mistakes of other teams or let them set the market for it.
But he's not a mid-level guy.
Dak Prescott, I totally disagree about the upside. What I have seen now tells me it's limited upside. He gets air under that ball. He misses throws all over the field. He misses reads. He misses guys.
4 yesterday.
But he has something about him that, given the right circumstances, it's not out of the question he can win. But he ain't going to elevate you. He might get it done in the end. I do not.
No, you can't say that, Max. You can't say he will not elevate you. Here's the thing. We can be clear-eyed about this. He has his flaws. He has his shortcomings. But you know what's fascinating about Dak is that sometimes only a play or two after his shortcoming is revealed, he comes up with the makeup play, the game-winning play, and he's done it over and over. And the truth of the matter is, you know who he's done it to relentlessly over and over? This team, the Eagles. When these two have faced off, who's come up bigger, Dak Prescott or Carson Wentz? The answer is clear. It's statistical. It's obvious. It's Dak Prescott. Now, I'm with you, Max, and I think in the end, I think Stephen A. is with you as well. You don't want to end up paying Dak Prescott $30 million. And I think that's the only point here.
What about 25?
Can you find?
He's going far. He's going too far. I agree with you about that, Will, but I'm close to it. I think he's going too far. I think he's really devaluing that.
And I think you're limiting his upside in that he can grow. He can still get better.
And I'll start with you, Will. Obviously, getting Amari Cooper seems like it was a great decision. Worked out for them, clearly, right?
Clearly.
How far do you really think they can go? Because we were ranking the teams earlier. We were Saints, Rams, and there was a dispute over, is it the Bears or is it the Cowboys in terms of best teams? Obviously, the Monday night game, we know who's playing, Seahawks and Vikings. But do you feel like they could really make a run? I'm talking like winning games in the playoffs, beating some of these teams.
You asked me how far can they go. The answer is all the way. They can win it all.
Dallas Cowboys?
The Dallas Cowboys. I've told you that from the day one.
Why do you have to take it that
What
far?
year are you talking about?
All the way?
Let me tell you the answer.
Oh, come on.
You asked
were just
me,
making
can
sense.
they? Here's the two obvious
Realistically,
answers. Realistically,
what do you think is going to happen in the playoffs?
No. You changed the question on me.
Because I need you to be reasonable.
I answered the question the way the questions are asked. You asked me how far can they go. Two pieces of evidence have been laid on your table Obviously, in the last 2 weeks, one, the Cowboys took down one of the best teams in the NFL. Can we all agree on that, New Orleans Saints?
Yes.
Okay.
And two, we have shown, not just on the Dallas Cowboys playing field, but any playing field now, that defense can shut down these high-powered offenses. Defense can still win in the NFL. The Bears showed you, the Cowboys showed you, and I'm going to tell you something else. Even though they lost the game, the Ravens showed you against the Chiefs that a defense can carry you against these top teams. So if you know the Cowboys have the formula and they have beaten one of the top teams in the NFL, the answer is quite clear, Molly. They can go all the way. Now, if they're going to, they got to cut out the penalties and they got to cut out the turnovers. They got to stop shooting themselves in the foot. If they can do that, the answer is an obvious yes.
The Dallas Cowboys beat the Saints, and I thought they had a chance to do that because the Saints were on the road on a Thursday. Everything lined up for that game that you thought Dallas has a shot. I would not pick them at New Orleans. And then yesterday, let's be honest, the Eagles have no secondary. All Amari Cooper had to do was run as fast as he could, and he was going to be wide open. The Eagles had nothing to stop the passing game.
14 different defensive backs this season.
Right.
13 of them played one game.
That's really what happened yesterday. The Cowboys are good. They are not an elite team.
Cam Newton's making $20 million, okay? You've got Garoppolo that's signed for 137.5. You got Derek Carr making $25 million. You got Joe Flacco. I know he won a Super Bowl, but what I'm saying to you is Dak Prescott's in the 3rd year of his career. The upside is tremendous. I don't understand these people that are looking at him. Listen, I saw him miss about 4 throws yesterday. Listen, about 4. I saw Carson Wentz miss a few as well. We were talking about Carson Wentz as an MVP candidate last year. A couple of years ago when Dak Prescott was a rookie, we were having those conversations about him because of how terrific he looked. I don't understand how Ezekiel Elliott misses 6 games and you fall off the wagon to such a degree, but come back this year, complete better than 68% of your passes, and we're acting like, oh, my goodness, the upside is not there.
9 is your floor.